What's up guys, my name is Ace, and yesterday we got some good news. It looks like the latest update on PlayStation 5 is blocking the use of Cronus devices, which is excellent news because this is the platform itself going after these devices rather than individual games like Call of Duty, for instance, which has been trying to combat these devices with, I think, limited success. Now, just for anybody that isn't aware of what these devices are and what they can do, a Cronus is a device that can allow you to cheat by running scripts like auto recoil control, or it allows you to spam a semi-auto gun at the maximum fire rate by just holding the trigger down as if it's full auto. Or apparently there's methods of getting like stronger aim assist as well with a Cronus, or just various macros like auto drop shot, for instance. So while it's not quite the same as using aimbots or wall hacks since it's just affecting your inputs, these devices are absolutely still used for cheating. And I'm really happy to see that PlayStation itself is going after them, because I think there's a much better chance of success when it's the platform going after them and not the individual games trying to combat them. Another thing that's worth mentioning is there are some legitimate uses with a Cronus, especially for people with disabilities. This is often used as an accessibility device because it allows you to remap your inputs any way that you want, and that could help people with disabilities. But unfortunately, I would bet that is a tiny percentage of Cronus users, and the vast majority of people that are using these devices are just using them to cheat. So overall, this is really good news, and hopefully the start of a trend of these platforms specifically targeting devices like this. Because as of right now, I just see this as sort of the first step. This is just PlayStation 5 right now, so these devices still work just fine on Xbox as far as I'm aware, and the ball is in their court, so hopefully Xbox will follow suit and try to target these devices as well. Another thing to point out is this is PS5 specifically, so to my knowledge, this would still work just fine on a PS4. So even if you're playing Call of Duty and you disable crossplay on PlayStation 5, you can still run into Cronus cheaters that are just playing on PS4s. Additionally, it is important to mention that this is a big business, and I'm sure the manufacturer is going to be doing everything in their power to find a workaround to this. So it's likely Sony will really have to stay on top of this as well, because just like with any form of anti-cheat, it's always a cat and mouse game. There's a lot of money involved here. You may patch one thing, but then they always find a workaround, and then you have to patch that thing, and it just keeps going back and forth. And I'm guessing this situation with the Cronus will be no different. But in saying that, Cronus actually released a statement, and they mentioned there's currently no timetable on a fix. And they said it could be 24 hours, 24 days, 24 months, and they won't know until they've dug into it. So at the very least, it's nice to see that they don't immediately know what's going on and how to find a workaround to this. And I'm hoping whatever PlayStation did here is going to be robust enough that it's going to take quite some time for them to find a workaround. Another thing I want to point out from this statement that Cronus made is that this update that went live for PlayStation 5 isn't a mandatory update to play online, so if your console hasn't already auto-downloaded that update and installed it, it can be skipped and you can continue to use your Cronus in online play, at least for now. But my understanding of this is by the time the next PlayStation update comes out, then the previous update does become a mandatory update if you want to be able to play online. And also, I believe once you have that update installed on your console, I don't think you can just revert to the previous update. So for all those Cronus users that had their PlayStation on auto updates, I believe they're screwed, and that's great news. Now on top of this, another thing I wanted to talk about a little bit in this video is this is just targeting Cronus. And while Cronus is definitely the most popular of these devices right now, there are other devices that do basically the exact same thing that a Cronus will do. And to my knowledge, those haven't been targeted yet. And again, I'm just hoping this is the first step and the platforms will be targeting all of these devices that can be used in this way. I'm not too sure how viable that is for them, but it's definitely in the platform's best interest to keep cheating off their platforms, especially with consoles, because that's actually one of the pros of using a console over a PC. And one of the reasons that people will choose buying a console over using a PC to game with, it just tends to be a lot more difficult to cheat on those platforms, so you tend to get a more clean experience playing on consoles. It's actually been funny, especially with the launch of Ranked Play in Modern Warfare 3, a lot of people are going out and buying PS5s now, specifically so they can turn off crossplay in Ranked Play, because in the higher levels of play, apparently they're just infested with cheaters at the moment. And therefore, switching to the only platform that has the ability to disable crossplay, which is PlayStation at the moment with Call of Duty, that's actually going to be the best way to experience Ranked Play, especially if you play at the higher levels. And this update's going to make that even better, because not only are you essentially eliminating the possibility of running into aimbots and wall hacks with crossplay disabled, now you should also be seeing at least fewer people using a Cronus device. Again, like I said, they could still be playing on PS4 and using a Cronus, and also at the moment, for those that didn't download that update, they can still be using their Cronus on PS5 as well. But that part probably won't be working for long, and this should at least significantly cut down on the number of Cronus users that you find on PlayStation. And with that, that pretty much wraps it up for this topic. I just wanted to spread the good news that we got yesterday. Again, I'm really hoping they can stay on top of this and even expand this to other devices in the future. And on top of this, I hope Xbox will end up following suit as well, because it would be great to get back to a much more clean experience where you don't have nearly as many people cheating. And with that, I'd love to hear what you guys think about this news in those comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.